baby. Welcome to week 7 of Thursday Night Faceoff. I'm your host, Kevin Moore Crazy. You already reached the final week of girls high school hockey, but got a couple more weeks of boys hockey. That's
right. Roger that, Captain. Well, I'm your other host, Alexis Bass. Happy Groundhog Day. Lucky for you. Either way, we've got about 6 times 6 more weeks of winter and more hockey. So we begin tonight's Arctic adventures in the tundra of Proctor. It was senior night for the Rails. How precious is that? All the boys and the biggest fans. Nothing but smiles. You just love to see it. In a scoreless first, Spartans Carter Gunther trying to change that narrative, but the Rails' Blake Imhoff is all over that one. It's 0-0. The second now, Tanner Ross one-on-one, but that one is deflected high, so we still remain without a goal in this one. Final frame out of the faceoff. Rails win the draw. Nolan Oakstad playing catch with Carson Polovich, and sound the red light. We've got a goal. It's 1-0, and that's a wrap as Proctor tops the Spartans 1-0.
All right, and guess what time it is? If you guess game of the night, then you spend a lot of time here, and we love that. So we'll move on. What better selection than the Class A state champs, the #2 Hermantown Hawks? They hosted the CEC Lumberjacks earlier tonight, and we will start this one in the first frame. It's Matt Cobbin in from blue line to blue line, but he doesn't stop there. Right through traffic, takes the shot and lights the lamp for the Hawks' first goal of the night. On to the second period now. Hawks still up 1-0 until Dallas View shoots it right over the shoulder of Logan Tickman for #2 for the Hawks. Same period, same score, and Lumberjacks have something to say. Dane Painovich centers it, and Jay Stewart, who finds a way somehow to get the finish. But that will be the only one on the board for the Lumberjacks. Hermantown, on the other hand, yeah, they keep doing what H-Town does. This one finishes with a 6-1 win for the Hawks.
Now we head to Moose Lake, where the #20 Rebels host the Pine City Dragons. We start in the first. Lai Olsen breaks up a Rebels pass. Mallory Hartle moving just a bit too soon, and Olsen gets it past her to put the Dragons up 1-0. Just a few minutes later, Rhiannon tries to shoot off the rebound, but Hartle makes the save to keep the Dragons from getting #2. Then with under 4 minutes left in the period, Gracie Hartle fights to get the puck between the posts, and she makes it happen to get the Rebels on the board.
She got a little excited.
Game tied at 1, and that was the last score we would have from that one.
My turn. Military Appreciation Night for the Northern Stars, and they were honoring one of their own, senior Jenna Horvat, who will be joining the National Guard. After an uneventful first period, the juices started flowing in the second. Goalie Ella Brisbot doing everything to keep the puck from crossing the goal line. Very close. She keeps the score at 0-0. That was a big one because minutes later, Grayson Shipper gets her stick on the puck for the deflection. Northern Stars up 1-0 with 10.5 to go in the second, but the Elks with a quick response off a turnover. Toe drag by Abby Hansberger. Deeks right, goes left, backhand gets by Brisbois, and we're all tied up at 1. Then Stars with the 2-on-1. Shout out our intern, Jeff. First day holding the camera. We get Shipper's second goal of the game. Northern Stars go into the break up a goal, but the Elks would equalize in the third as this one would end in a 2-2 tie. I can't wait for the section playoffs next week for the girls. And speaking of playoffs, we got some Bulldogs looking to make a push in the final 2 months.
That's right, K-Money. When we come back, it's all about those Bulldogs on the block. So stay locked right here on TNF.